Hey guys, what's up today? This is Dalsu with Dalsu Plays. I've been getting lots of great tips from you guys on my Banished playthrough, and I'm having a really good time with it. There were several really good points made. One of which was that I should build some houses over here so that these people all working together don't have to make this long trek all the way back up to get into this area where they'll get their food and stuff like that. So I'm considering doing that. I'm going to make a pasture, have some chickens. Somebody else said something about a market. Now, I can't really understand why a market would be helpful here. I mean, because there's stockpile here and a barn here, so a market here doesn't really help. Maybe they were talking about more like a market down this way, which I may do if I start to expand more that way. But for now, I think what we'll do is just some housing in here. We want to get outside of the circles, though. That's the only thing. See, I don't want housing inside the circle because that's going to cause problems with our growth and our herbs. I mean, it takes away from the area of effect. Also, what people said is that I should take away all this iron and stone and whatever else is in the way of both the herbs and the trees. I'm probably going to do that. I'm still kind of debating about this housing suggestion, though. If I build a couple houses here, it is better than them having to go all the way back over to here. But does it make that big of a difference? What else I could do is just build some housing out here. A little group of housing surrounded by a small market. And then do another group of such things as this. And kind of like, what do you call it, leapfrog them, like build some housing here, and then another group of this kind of thing here. And I need a word for this. Foresters, foresters, whatever. A little group of those people on the other side, and then when I get ready to expand out this way, I just demolish that and do another housing, and then another. Well, we're gonna run out of space at that point, but well, there's all this area up here that we could do it. We could kind of change directions and head up that way. I think that's quite a good idea, actually. So what we'll want to do, how many laborers? We have 3 laborers, 1 builder. What all is actually being constructed right now? Is it just the standard pasture? I think it's just the standard pasture, actually, which we need to put our chickens in. That'll get done before too long, I guess. Meanwhile, we've been trading away a lot of things, like firewood and herbs, mostly. Somebody suggested wine. I mean, Dead Inside is his name. I think that's how you pronounce it. One of the guys who always comments on and has a bunch of helpful things to say suggested that I trade wine. So we're a little bit far away from that process, I think. That's under luxuries, isn't it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so yeah, we'd have to do a winery and then plant some grapes. So we need grape seeds. The winery's not that expensive, though. It actually, yeah, it only requires lumber. We're actually set up pretty well to make lumber in our sawmill here. We were considering a quarry up here. Just reminding myself, it's been a day or two since I played. And what's your deal? You're an herbalist who doesn't have a job. Because I shut down the herbalist. Why did I shut down the herbalist? That was a weird thing to do. Must have done that on accident. There we go. Fixed that situation. Yeah, I like the idea of leapfrogging, like some housing and then another group of this, and then eventually demolishing this. It'll take a small market. What we're also thinking about doing is putting a church right here, kind of centrally located. We'd have to demolish this road as well. And we just don't have a lot of people to work for us right now. It's going to require some logs, which we have. Alright, I forgot I had told them to do that, so that's why everyone's busy right now. But that shouldn't take too much longer. I think this will be mostly city. And I'll have farms and stuff up here, but then probably extend my main city like out that way a bit, and then this is all, of course, production and stuff. Quarry, maybe a mine up here, and fields, and probably more housing and some like a. I might actually use the power flattening tool to make this kind of straight and workable. I know I said I wouldn't use the power flattening tool too much. Actually, I said I wouldn't do it at all, so I kind of lied. But what I meant was, I'm not just gonna like go up to a mountain, like say there's a mountain right here, or a little, I call that a hill. I'm not just gonna like flatten that out. I'm not gonna be cheap like that. But I think making the coastline straight is something that workers could actually do in real life, whereas they couldn't flatten a mountain like that. No way. That's just unrealistic. So, we should have our food well in hand. In fact, there's a cap that is almost met already. And it's early winter, so I guess it's a good time to meet your cap. I don't know what we'll put right here. We'll figure that out later. But yeah, the logs are being brought. And it's just a little bit slow right now. Sorry about that. I want to make sure everything kind of is out of the way. And I guess the first thing we'll do is maybe take out that iron. But I'm a little bit concerned about my stockpile size. Actually, I think we're okay. I think we're probably okay. Could always do a new stockpile somewhere near this market that's going to be over here. In fact, we could kind of do that first if we wanted to, almost. Just by using roads to kind of outline things. So we want to get at least... We don't... We're going to end up right on top of this hill I just used as a dramatic example of what I wouldn't do. Is flatten out that hill. And I'm not going to flatten it out. But I do want to know, like, let's see. I want to market, right? These are markets, okay. I just want a small market. Like, outside of the... I want it to be far enough away where it's not going to interfere with this. So in order to like kind of gauge that, I'll just use a road. Where is it? Country road. Okay, so it's kind of right here. That's kind of hard to see, but we'll use that as our demarcation line. Well, now we can't even see it, really. I really can't see it. Can you? All right, so that's a horrible way to make a demarcation line. But what we'll do is we'll come down from here. Like this, and then that'll be real clear to see. And then we'll go like out to here maybe. And I can kind of see that. And I know that this is well outside of it. So this looks like a good area for our little housing settlement. What would you call it? A kibbutz? Well, I don't know what you call it. That's the word, right, for an Israeli settlement, isn't it? Kibbutz. I don't speak Hebrew, but pretty sure that's the right word. Alright, I want to get rid of this road and see if I can cram a church in there. No reason to have this road anyway. Just makes things a little bit more symmetrical. We got a lot of food on our hands. I guess we should probably up the amount. And yeah, we're definitely ready for some new houses, I think. So can one shepherd or whatever, herdsman, deal with this many chickens? Isn't that the eternal question? So we'll wait until some builders get to this. And then we'll kind of decide where to go from there. Meanwhile, we have yet to turn on our sawmill because we don't have a lot of workers. And also, we're just kind of hanging back on the quarry a little bit because we don't have a lot of workers, and we're having people die now. So, it's probably about that time where we need a church. And we could put the graveyard kind of in the middle. Wanted a chapel. It's still not going to fit, you son of a... Why not? Alright, that's just weird. I guess we could move back the stockpile, but that's going to be such a pain in the ass. I tell you what, we'll just do our graveyard here. That'll look cool. We'll do like a proper cemetery. It'll be what's with that? I don't understand. Okay, I guess the housing what do you call it? Pixel size. I'm not sure. I'm not really a programmer, but it's too small. I can't even fit a cemetery in here. Really? Okay. We're having some issues with that, obviously. I guess I will move the stockpile here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's move this stuff. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but I want things to be nice in this place. My new city, everything's got to be just so. So, what is this stockpile size? It's 6 by 6, right? I think we'll make it a little bit larger, actually, since this is the industrial area and we want to have like lots of stuff stockpiled. We'll fit it about right like that. Yeah. And then we'll tell our workers to... This is a lot of stuff for them to do, but we're going to remove this structure. And yeah, I know, everything's low now because we got to move all that. And we'll also build our... But you know, we could just destroy this woodcutter and have our sawmill kind of handle the fuel. Let's do that. Oh, this one. Sorry, I know that this is kind of tedious, but I want the space, right? I want the central space. I can do houses and stuff here. They're a little bit more narrower than these two things. And then I can put my chapel right smack in the middle. I could also do a town hall right smack in the middle and do the chapel somewhere else now that I have room. I could do my town hall. It just requires some lumber. Colonial halls look cooler, but they require building materials. I mean, that would be kind of cool to have your town hall right in the middle of your town. And I could definitely do it, but then what about the church? Church would have to probably be here. It's just where I should have put it all along, but I'll be glad to have this central space back, really. Even though it's a little bit of a pain to do it all, but we'll set that to work. We gotta move our chickens in here before they go and die. And then we'll, I guess, have to put someone into here. That's gonna do even worse for the amount of people that we have, because we are really kind of suffering from a lack of people to do what we need to do. Where are you going? Oh, you must be just like a gatherer. Alright, so we've got a lot of things for our people to do, a lot going on. We're going to go ahead and speed up to 10 for just a minute here. Just a minute while things get going. And looks like the stockpile got done. This is going to be done next. And then we'll have to move our firewood production. See, we're out of firewood now. Unless it's a matter of just transferring it, which I'm not sure it is. What we want to do is we want to set this to firewood law. Are we capped out on lumber? That would be amazing. Where is our lumber stockpile? It's not going to be in the barn, right? It's going to be here. 33 is not capped out. Come on. But it could just be capping out on materials, yeah. So we need to raise the material limit. Takes a long time for them to demolish structures sometimes. Of course, we don't really have any builders, so we just got a new laborer though. That's nice. Got that going for us. We need more housing, like immediately, really. Our population is going to kind of grind to a halt if we don't. But that's going to take so long to build that market over here. We want to do that, of course, but we probably don't want to do that right now. So we'll build some housing like alongside our project here. No, not remove resources. What am I doing? Demolish road. And now we've got like a nice central location for whatever we want. It's going to be kind of ringed by houses. And I think before we do anything else, we probably want a few more houses because population is going to be very important as we keep going. So, let's make sure. Why don't we go ahead and like throw down our town hall. I'd love to have a colonial hall, but it looks so much cooler. We can upgrade our town hall at some point, right? I don't know if you can actually upgrade it from inside the building or if you have to just kind of... It would look quite cool like this. Would that save room for a house? I think it would. Let's try that. So if we put houses like so, would that save room for our civic building, our town hall? It would. Okay, and that would look quite nice as well. We could also do it long ways, or we could do it like this. I think this probably looks the best, since this is the view we're kind of most used to. But then it's not really facing the road. Does it matter, though? Does it really matter if it faces the road? We could also connect it to this road in front. Yeah, let's do it that way. No? Not gonna let me do it, huh? It's weird because some of the houses don't have that. You know, I think I just might need to like turn that house. Damn, that's annoying. I guess we'll just do it. We'll just do it facing this way. Yeah. And then we can... Can we? Can we fill out this road? Yeah. That's weird, it lets you build a road, but it doesn't let you build a building. So we don't have enough lumber for that at all. We should have enough stone, though. It's an important building, so we'll let them get to work on it. We are, what, capped out? No, we don't have the raw materials. We don't have the leather. Interesting. I'm pretty happy with our food. I don't like how this dry goods cap is so low, though. We need... Because it's going to produce feathers, right? And eggs. 4,000 food. Yeah, we need this house. We need some new babies to be born soon. And you're making firewood, right? So you're eating up logs pretty fast. And we'll eventually want to turn this on to lumber if we ever want to finish the town hall, because we don't have enough. You know, we only have 33 lumber to begin with, and we also want a chapel and all this kind of stuff. So we may end up with another sawmill, like down here in our little area. But they've kind of started putting that road together, but it takes time. Yeah, it takes time. So what about our church? What about our graveyard? I don't know. This could be a good spot for a graveyard. A little bit out of the way. But we could put it there and it'd be like behind the church. Let's see. Let's see. If we put the church like... Where is it? I'm looking in the wrong place. So many menus. I'd like a central church. Chapel would be nice. It's not that much a difference. It's mostly a lumber difference. We could stick the church here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that. It looks kind of nice there. And then this will be the graveyard. I might pause some of this stuff and tell it not to actually build right away. Gotta be behind the cathedral, behind the church. Yeah, I'm going to pause a lot of this stuff. I just like to know that it's there, and that's where it's going to be eventually. That's kind of cool that you can do that. You can kind of set up your town without even having the resources for it. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and end the video there. I know it's a little bit slow right now, guys. It's steady going, but you have to kind of play this way if you want things to turn out well. I've never been a fast-paced kind of gamer, you know, unless I'm playing LoL or Counter-Strike, which I don't play very often, but lately I have been playing a little bit of LoL, and just it's so fast-paced. You can't stop and think about what to do sometimes. You just got to react. I like to think and be slow and deliberate about the things that I do sometimes. Because otherwise, it'll be just a shit show. Thanks for watching. This has been Dalsu with Dalsu Plays. I'll see you on the next episode tomorrow at the same time. Thanks, guys.